The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Tuesday, the 18th day of October, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sancha Dorm, and Maya Palazzo will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sister Cinch, what's happening?
Good morning. I'm tired.
Yeah, you tired?
I'm tired. For you, normally I normally do the show. It's 8 to 9, and right now it's 7 for
Yeah,
me.
you're getting
Right?
a taste of the East Coast right now, a little East Coast time zone. So you know how rough it is.
Yeah.
Where you at in New York, right?
I am in New York. I am in New
That's your
York.
city.
That's my city. I'm a New York girl at heart.
Yeah. Is it cold there right now?
It's not. So when I
Really?
stepped out of the airport, it's so mild. It's
Really?
perfect. Light
Mm.
jacket. It's so nice.
Well,
So
you know,
nice.
New York could change tomorrow, Sandra.
Wow, I've looked at the weather and it says all week it's supposed to be nice. So
Mm-hmm.
fingers crossed.
Please, please snow on her parade. Please snow on her parade.
I know.
Yeah. So, oh, I said that out loud. I didn't mean to say it. Well, no, have fun. Stay warm. I don't think I visited New York since I left. Truth be told, I don't think I've. Yeah, I left in 2018. I don't think I've been there since. I could be wrong. I'll have to double check with my assistant. Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome the challenger for the deputy leader position of the PLP, the Honorable Renee Ming. The Daily Play is a remember win. Thank you. Honestly, we can't thank you enough to everyone who continues to support us. If you haven't already, make sure you sign up for the membership on our YouTube channel. Just hit the join button to become an official member of our channel. A lot of decent perks come with it, but I did just learn last night, Sancha, I learned this. I don't know if I should say it publicly, but I learned we're having a little something, how they say Christmas party in Bermuda or Christmas. I heard we're going to have one of their situations for us on air, and then we're going to invite some TDH community members to join us for our little holiday. So I don't know if I'm supposed to say it publicly, but hopefully nobody's listening that's going to get me in trouble. Well, we had a pretty fun time in the summer when we got together, right?
I did. I said that on one of the shows. I totally enjoyed getting to meet the community, putting faces with names, and being able to have conversations and some of the questions that were asked. It was good. It was good.
Yeah. Karen Simmons was there, and Hadley and Stevenson Swan and her husband Bruce, and Michelle White. Got props. She rode out with us. And if I'm forgetting anyone, please, my head, not my heart. But those folks in particular stood out. So, hopefully they'll be around and stick with us. But before we get into today's, show, can I?
What?
Maya?
Your joke? Oh, Maya. No. So, yeah, backstage, I don't know how I reminded him, but apparently I reminded him to go and get his book.
Yeah, I got my joke book out. It's
time
for your morning get up. She don't want no parts.
You're not going to do this by myself, are you?
She's leaving you in your end, so you're going to have to laugh with me. Here we go. Oh, you know what? Let me bring her in. Let's see. Maya, did you want to comment
Yeah, I was like, just couldn't do it. I'm not on my regular device. So I was like, you got to bring me in.
All right, perfect. All right, here's today's pick me up, folks. Here we go. Here we go. Get your laughs in order. What kind? Hold on.
Not you laughing already.
I'm sorry. I'm not a pro at this, as you can tell. All right. What kind of doctor does a duck visit?
What kind of doctor does a duck visit? A quack?
That's a good guess. Dr. Doodle?
Nope. You ready? What kind of doctor does a duck visit? A duck tour.
Take me out. Take me out, please. Take me out.
Stop. Oh, stop.
Thank goodness you have the sound effects.
That was the audience. Don't play them down anyway.
Goodness you have those sound effects.
Anyway, I know you all, wondering how
Any audience members get that, Jamal?
Yeah, see, Sam Cat plays. She laughed. Nicole Walker laughed.
Answer.
No, I mean, no, they didn't. What's wrong with Shara's hand and face?
It was that lame. Okay.
Whatever. Anyway, we've got a show to do. We're gonna bring Maya in. I'm sure she's got some news for us, and she sounds good. She looks good today. She's got a better background than all of us. That's what I'll say that much. But let's bring Maya in for the news break, and then shortly after, as stated, we'll have the Honorable Renee Ming coming in for a conversation. As you know, unless you've been living under a rock, there is a leadership challenge in the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party this week, and so Maya, she should be ready. I mean, she should be stopped laughing by now at this morning's pick me up, right? So let's bring her in.
Did not crack a smile at that. That was lame. Wow. Some of them, I'm like, oh, that was cute. That one was lame.
Fine. Well, I'll reconvene with my niece and Maddox, since Summersfield's got the best jokers. All right, let's bring Maya in.
Good morning. This is the Daily Hour Newsweek brought to you by People's Pharmacy.
I'm just impressed with your background, Maya. I mean, I just want to see if I can, do my version of it. Does mine look good?
Yours looks cheap.
Oh, okay. All right. So on that note, I'm gonna take it down. It's just not working out for me this morning, folks. It's not working out for me. But what you got in the news for us today?
That background was funnier than your joke.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay. All right.
I'll be sad on that one.
All right. 2 against 1, fellas. Come on now. Where's Larry and Phil? What you got for us, Maya? What's happening in the news?
So early on this morning, I have for you that on Friday, October the 14th, the BPS can confirm that 34-year-old Malvin Holdit pled guilty to 10 counts of burglary and 4 counts of theft, totaling over $5,000 worth of goods, in addition to $1,500 worth of property damage. He is now pending sentencing time.
I'm not making light of this, but you said $5,000 or $5,000 of goods? Just
$5,000 worth of goods, in addition to $1,500 worth of damage on the property.
I'm sorry to hear. So, quick question, and I'm being honest when I ask this: does Bermuda have pawn shops, or does Bermuda doesn't have pawn shops, right?
No.
What about that Cash for Girl place? I feel like people used to steal jewelry and take it to the Cash for Girl place.
Well, they did mention a list of some of the places that he was caught on, like CCTV camera, and they were like Price White Wharf, Robin Hood Pub, Ocean View Golf Course, North Village Community Club, and A1 Marketplace in Smiths.
Interesting. Well, hopefully, if it's something going on, he gets the assistance or help he needs so that he doesn't have to steal from anyone. What else you got for us?
Well, following on with the BPS, apparently they had 17 officers go through about a 4-day program, which allowed them to complete a fatal collisions investigation course. They brought down trainers from the UK, and they basically came here and tried to assist them with better existing, skills to help with investigating protocols for fatal collisions.
Well, I mean,
that's awesome to hear.
yeah, that's always a good thing. I mean, obviously we don't want people, getting in accidents or having to deal with that, but knowing that you got professionals, people that have trained for this stuff on the job, I guess we feel a bit better about that, right?
Definitely do.
Yeah. Come on, Maya, I know you got some more for us.
Okay, so we all know that in about 2 days, there's going to be the PLP delegates and MPs will be voting for the next leader and deputy leader at the delegates conference. Now, with that, just a reminder from my interview with Curtis Dickinson that after the voting period, there will be a letter sent to the governor, and in the morning, there will be an announcement basically letting everyone know who will potentially be the leader of the PLP. And when it comes to if there is a leader switch, that person will then become premier of Bermuda.
Oh, okay. I have no comment. We have a guest on today. Would you got anything, Sancho, on that?
On our guest or
No,
on our
on Maya just now. I mean, the leadership challenge. You got an opinion on that?
I had a conversation with someone. You just said people living under a rock, and this girl did not know this was going on, and I had to explain the whole process. And I was like, I thought everyone knew. She had no clue.
Well, you know what? Yeah, man.
So it's definitely something that people still don't quite grasp the understanding. And again, I stressed it a lot to us not learning about this in school, really. And Ryan Panchick actually put out a very good story the other day. And he kind of went through a little bit of the history of the PLP. And then at the end, he laid it out as to what delegates are, what's going to happen, how it happens, how they pick them and everything. And I thought it was very informative. And I know he has a lot of connection with the younger people. So I hope a lot of people got good things out of it. I might ask him if I could repost it today because I thought it was really informative. It really just broke things down in such a simple term.
Ignorance is actually a safe place. It is, because the more you know, the more stressed you are. And honestly, I'm being for real, because I wonder, and ignorance, let me be honest, ignorance is not this bad thing saying, you're just ignorant. No, not knowing is okay.
Ignorance can be bliss.
Yeah.
I say that all the time. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. Legit. And so these people who don't know what is going on, trust me, their stress levels are probably so low. They're non-existent. It's us, people who know and see, the BS happening. It's like,
yeah. We're not living blissful lives.
No, not at all. What else you got for us, Maya?
Because we talk about it too often. Okay.
Seriously.
Last up for the news for you guys. Stay sustainable. On Saturday, this coming Saturday from 12 to 2, Bermuda is Love and Glory & Co. are having a switch day with clothing. So you could bring a maximum of 10 clothings that are in good condition. And when you get there, you could switch them with other participants that day. So it's a different way to get new clothes and switch things around and staying sustainable. So if you want to learn more about that, just go to Bermuda is Love. And lastly, for the weather today, we got mix of sun and some clouds, probably going to be a shower or two in the late afternoons, and a high of 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
All righty. Well, we're happy to have Maya back, folks, because trust me, took me about 2 hours. No, I'm joking.
No, you did well. I watched it. I did opinionated, but
yeah. But that's why I tell people I ain't a journalist, because I was giving my opinions while reading it. You heard me. I didn't know. I
was like, we're not supposed to give our opinions.
Yeah, but it's me, folks. You know what I mean? What you really think I can read something without giving my opinion?
No.
You didn't have to answer that. What's the days of the year, Sancho? You got something for us?
I do. So today is Developmental Language Disorder Awareness Day. Speech disorders have normally been diagnosed under generic definitions, with not much cause or explanation for why the child develops a more difficult time speaking. Disabilities such as autism, ADHD, and dyslexia have more public awareness, but when a child is rather diagnosed with a generic speech disorder, not much can be said about what the future consequences of it can be. Developmental Language Disorder Awareness Day is all about giving those who have language disorders a voice, helping them educate the public about the term, and helping raise awareness about speech disorders in everyday life.
I learned so much from these days of the year. I really
Me too.
did.
I actually have a bit of a speech impediment, but I don't think people catch on to it now because I've learned to control it. But when I was younger, I couldn't really pronounce my R's. And sometimes it comes up, like
Let
when
me
I
hear
try
you
to
say
say, okay, Jamel, calm down. But like when I try to say rabbit or world or girl, I have to say them very slowly sometimes and really enunciate, because if I talk too fast, it just sounds like W's. So I remember having to put like popsicle thing down my throat and try to speak when I was in primary school. I had like the lessons and stuff, which I was so grateful that they was able to give that to me at hand and some. But yeah, I had to overcome that. Sometimes it slips up, but sometimes I'm mostly good.
And look at you. I think improving in your craft and doing your thing. And
I
folks,
know. Now speak.
that's an inspiration for you right there. Trust me. But no, it's real quick funny. Keitha, one of the partners, and Maya. So you know how you get voice notes and you try to rush through and whatnot. Keitha and Maya are the two people where I cannot do 1.5 or 2. I have to listen normal with WhatsApps. I do, because I'm just like, I speed them up and it's so yeah. Keitha and Maya have the same exact speaking pattern. Sancho, on the other hand, I speed her up to 2.0. Yeah.
Pronunciate and talk slowly.
Yeah.
So that you can hear me.
Yeah. Whatever.
You can understand me.
Yeah. I can do that. Yeah. Maya, please have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, you'll see me tomorrow.
All right, with that background, just moving on up. All right, cool. See ya.
Bye.
All right, my Palacio folks, we're going to come right back. We're going to take a quick break. We've got the Honorable Renee Ming coming up after this break. Do not go anywhere. Do that enunciate thing again, Sandra. What do you?
Because I speak well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I don't pronounce nothing. Anyway, we'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Hi, I'm Karen, a nurse at the old folks home. These long hours used to kill my feet until my hairdresser told me about a great place to buy a pair of clogs. Medical House. Finally, relief. They also carry uniforms in bright, bold colors. And not to mention the support stockings.
Karen, Miss Soltis bet her bet again.
Oh gosh, these days I need all the support I can get.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dendy Town Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
All righty, welcome back to the big show. She's Central Durham. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, do not forget, sign up for our membership. Just hit the join button to become an official member of our channel. It's right below the video on YouTube. This conversation will be continuing on YouTube only, so that's your note to switch over if you haven't already. All right, without further ado, let's bring in our guest for the day. Sandra, are you ready?
I am ready. I've been looking forward to this.
All right, we've got the Honorable Renee Ming in the his house. Good morning, Madame. Oh, we can't see you. Oh,
I went too hard now.
Oh, we've got some camera issues. Yeah. All right. Are you you're on an iPad?
No, my Samsung tablet.
A tablet. Okay.
Can you see me now?
Yep. Are you able to level it like us at all? Because it's going into the light, just so that it doesn't distract for the audience. That's.
Is that a little better?
Yeah, that's better. That's better. Thank you so much. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me here today.
Or should I say welcome back?
This is true. This is true.
Yeah, we had you on earlier this year, right after your resignation. And obviously, right now, it's a different time. You are challenging for the deputy leadership of the Progressive Labor Party and, in turn, the country as they are the government. But just explain to the audience, we did have the Honorable Curtis Dickinson on last week, or week before last, sorry, 2 weeks ago, regarding why he decided to run and his challenge. Why did you decide to run for deputy leader of the party?
Well, Jamal, even in March when I resigned from the cabinet, and I've explained this on several of our road trips over the past few months, you resign because you may not be able to support a particular principle that has been advanced. And so at that time, I had concerns with regard to the direction of the party. And I know even during my resignation conversation, that is something that was voiced to the premier, that I have, I really do have concerns with the direction of the party. And not just that, by extension, the country as well. And so over the months after resigning, when you have some time, you sit down and you reflect. I've had conversations. I love to talk and engage, and I'm listening to our party members. I've listened to members of our public, and they too have concerns about the direction of where we're going. And so I decided to put my name forward because I do believe that we could do for change. I think that we have some areas that we need to improve on, and I felt that I was willing and able at this time to be able to advance those things.
Indeed. And why do you believe that you're the best person for this position that you're running for at this moment?
The word best kind of makes me feel like it would be the number one person. I would just maybe say that at this time, I may feel that I'm the better option. And part of that, Jamal, is because I think that what I'm offering is a better way and a different way of doing things. I've been very vocal in saying that, we as politicians, we have a voice, and we have to be unapologetically and unafraid to use that voice. And I truly do believe that I would be the voice for those people that don't have a voice, and at the same time can hold any leader accountable, because at the end of the day, we are accountable not just to our party, we are accountable to every single person in this island. And we owe them that in terms of the integrity that we bring to the table, the inclusion that we need to bring to the table, the transparency that needs to be brought to the table. And when we say the table, I mean just overall as a whole, because we cannot look at things in isolation as just from a party standpoint. We have 40,000+ registered voters that are counting on us. We have their families that count on us to make decisions that are in their best interest. And for the most part, they just want us to be accountable to them.
So with that being said, what would you say are some of the key issues facing Bermuda right now? And what would you do as deputy leader to address those issues?
Sure. So, Sancho, we have been up and down the island talking to not just delegates, but talking to our members. And then we just have everyday conversations with people who may not be members. And the economy definitely tops most conversations. People are concerned, things are kind of expensive, the cost of living. Lately we've seen the cost of food even skyrocket, and that's a real concern to Bermudians right now, just being able to afford to live in Bermuda. They also have concerns in terms of some of the changes we've had to to education. And some of the new signature school stuff it's just that it's new, and so people are watching and hoping that this is a good path for us to be on in terms of education. And we also have continuing changes coming from some of the parish schools. And I think that we as a government and even as a party have to continue to talk to people and listen, because what we have gotten is that we lack sometimes the ability to consult, and I mean and meaningful consultation. And the third item that has come up a lot is immigration, and people are concerned with the fact of the job situation that we have on island, and just some of the immigration policies that we've put in place, and they would, they want to have a voice in these matters.
Okay, so if you are unsuccessful, how do you believe you'll be still able to contribute to Bermuda as a PLP MP?
Sure. Well, being unsuccessful doesn't mean that you stop doing what you do. For instance, in my own community, I am heavily vested, and I've been able to kind of take that same be invested in my community and even extend it to other communities. I'm very social. We've been doing, like, for instance, in my community, something that we started 5 years ago now, we're extremely proud of it, is a community walk. And what that does is it brings people who may not even traditionally movement and exercise. And then as a result of that, we do other things now. We're venturing. Our walk has gone from just being a St. George's community walk to we walk in Somerset. We have a traditional walk now with our Somerset persons, some Somerset friends that we have, which is like the Saturday before Cup match. Last week, for instance, we walked in Bailey's Bay, and what it does is it's moving us around the island, and we get to see other areas, but it's also bringing anybody who just wants to have the support of a walking group together. I also look at if I wasn't successful, Sandra, that I've been a champion for women's rights and women being around the table and women taking a rightful place. And I would definitely continue to champion women being more involved, because when we look at our demographic and, in most cases, and I'll give the legislative side of it because those numbers are named to me, women are 20, like maybe 25% of of all of the legislators and parliamentarians and things that we have on island. But our demographic in Bermuda is at 53%. And so in some places, I believe that we are underrepresented, and we could do more for them, and in terms of women being around the table, being able to be decision makers, and just offering what it is that they have, because I don't believe that we should be undervalued. Women are nurturing. We have lots of ideas and things that we can put forth. And so I would continue to champion definitely for women to get involved. And I know that, I had this conversation with some women over the past few weeks, and they was like, we're busy, and we are. But I still think that we're those persons that we can have these stretch opportunities, and we will, we're women, and I know Sandra understands it. We make it happen.
Yeah, we do every day.
Mhm.
So, a question I've been thinking about: what happens if you are successful and Curtis Dickinson is unsuccessful? How will
Mhm.
you and Premier Burt work together based on your history?
Um, I think that for the good, you have to have a decent relationship. Hello? You-
We can't hear you, Jamal. I know I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah, I was saying we were losing her a bit. If you can just start over with your response real quickly. Just
Sure.
the internet connection was off. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I was just saying that we were for the good of our country, and I believe that our country should be our focus, that we would have a decent relationship. I think that if that were the case, Premier Brett could nurse that he would get honest and frank advice and feedback from me, and also to hold him accountable. Because as deputy leader, you are yes, you're there to support and assist the leader, but the leader also has to have respect that you also are that person that will give that honest and critical feedback, that you will be a strong voice, and you will hold that person accountable as well.
So, with that being said, if you could give your opponent and the premier one piece of advice, what would that be?
I think that, and I think this is an important one, Sandra, is never compromise your principles for your politics. And remember that we're accountable to all of our Bermudians here. And I say that because I've had the opportunity to be up and down the island, and I've listened and made sure to take what they've also shared some things publicly through some of our meetings. And we need to remain principled as leaders. We need to make sure that everything we do has integrity about us. We need to ensure that we are making people feel inclusive, because everybody may have something to offer, and that's whether you are like within our party or outside of our party. What I'm learning is that even persons who aren't party members, they still want to be included. And one of the major things as well would be consultation. And meaningful consultation. Like, don't not check the box like yeah, we did that. No, people want to be heard. They want to use their voices, and they wanted to be included in the process. But I do believe that from a greater standpoint, it's just never compromise your principles for your politics.
So I know you have.
Sandra, can I follow up on that real fast?
Yeah.
Because I heard you mention integrity, and obviously you had a debate last week with the Honorable Walter Raban, and I know people that were in there were repeating that, Minister Ming kept bringing up integrity, and some members felt like you were saying the party didn't have integrity, when in fact any smart person would believe you're talking about the leadership. But when you speak of integrity, what can you be more specific? Because I mean, for me, there's currently and I got nothing but love for him, but there's a current MP in court right now. Earlier this year, it was an appointed senator that was pretty much asked to resign because of a situation with an elderly member of the public. So the integrity is there for all to see, but can you just explain for people who may think you're basically saying that the delegates and the members have no integrity?
Sure. One of the things that I explained was that I truly do believe that our people have integrity, but I said that it doesn't just extend to people, Jamal, and I recognize that some people don't have integrity, but that's the appeal now, that if we're going to lead, let's lead with that. Let's be leaders that people can follow and be examples for. And when I was speaking about integrity, and I made this clear, I said you can have integrity in a process, you can have integrity in a policy, you have integrity in your decision making, and you have integrity in just how we do things. And I think as leaders, there's so many people that are looking to us as their as the leader, as an example, as people that we may even have other persons aspiring to sit in the seats that we sit in, that we need to make sure that how we do things are with the highest amount of integrity, because we want those persons who are coming behind us to be able to say we were good examples, and we left foundations for them to be able to follow. Like, it's no secret that we stand on the backs of many that came before us, that sacrificed, everything, and we should be able to be in a way that they would be proud of, and that those coming behind us have an example to follow.
Yes, sir.
So what would you say to the delegates? Obviously, you've been on a campaign trail and you've been talking to them, having these conversations. What would you say to the delegates who may be watching this show? They haven't decided how they're going to vote. How would you tell them that you're the best person to help Bermuda to move forward as a deputy leader?
Sure. I've had the opportunity to listen, and I think that the delegates that that we've spoken to and the members, because it's important to note that the delegates are a small percentage of what the membership looks like. And for me, I believe that I've been blessed to be able to have members actually come out and express how they feel and note their concerns. And I think that if I had to speak to him, I would say to him that recognizing that a lot of what we've heard is that we need change. We need to do things differently. We need to remember who actually put us in these seats and who we represent. And so, as the delegates go to the polls and to vote on Thursday, I'm asking them to consider those things, to let some things prick your conscience. Think about not just the conversations that we may have had with our membership and our people, but also the conversations that we've had on the street with persons who, whilst they may not be PLP members, have expressed concerns as well in the way that we are currently do things. I don't think that anyone would disagree that we have some change and we need to change, and that when they go there, let your conscience be your guide. Think about it from a conscience standpoint of what is it that we need and want even as a country, and what does that change mean and look like?
If you have any questions for Ms. Ming, please send them through. We will get through as many comments and questions as can be. When elections take place around the world, the U.S., we had the one where I don't know the latest name. Is it Truss or Truce in the UK? In France, markets respond, right? Stock markets respond. How do you all believe the business community in Bermuda will respond based on the results of this election? Is that even a concern of delegates or the party?
I think that our business community is important, from an economic standpoint. But traditionally, Jamal, I think that they've stayed out of our political arenas, and part of that is because there's a level of respect that I think that they have for our political process. And in this instance right here, remember, this isn't like a general election or anything like that. This is an internal process to the Progressive Labor Party. And so I don't think that we'll see too much, concern. Unless they voice their concerns either to the current leader or to the proposed, but I just don't know how much we would actually see of them getting involved in an internal political process.
I get it. And I think that question's more or less, it's no secret that the business community is in strong favor and support of Mr. Dickinson. Right. That's just based on what you see in the news and, comments and obviously sidebar conversations. It seems that the business community relates to him as a person that's been there. But I think that can be looked at different levels, because business community, you have the international business, and then you have the local business, which local businesses is more of the PLP base. Now, I just saw some things. You see certain businesses that employ the base have reduced their hours. I don't know if it's true, folks. Let me know in the audience, but someone just told me one of the local fried chicken joints just is not open Mondays anymore. So this is the PLP base impacted by stuff like this, right? Reduced hours impacts, people's ability to work the same amount of hours, so on. Do you believe that, as Mr. Dickinson is considered, business friendly, if that's such a thing, he has a better chance of doing what's right for businesses that will in turn give the base, the employees, the opportunity to still make their money in the economy?
Sure. Over the past few weeks, I've had the opportunity to sit in the meetings with MP Dickinson, and I believe that he can transverse Jamal through the international business sector right down to our local business sector. And he has heard the challenges that, from some of these smaller businesses in terms of a lot of it was to do with bureaucracy as it relates to government. And so it kind of, got your mind thinking, how is it that we can kind of look at some of the processes that we currently have, and is there any way to make things more efficient? And so if we look at efficiency, we can look at it, we should look at it across the entire government to see, can we do things better? Can we make it a little easier for people to even navigate through government? Because that's some of the challenges that we've heard as well. We actually, a small business owner spoke to us last week in one of our meetings and was just saying that, they explained some of the hurdles and the bumps that they came up with. Although they were successful, I believe that we have opportunities to take those people around and have conversations with them and listen with them, because they definitely, not only can they help, they want to help. They want to be able to share ideas on how to make it a little better. And I think as we move forward, we need to be more, we have an opportunity to be more collaborative and to recognize that one person does not have all the answers, but collectively together, I believe that we can move our country forward.
I mean, I'm not a delegate. I probably been kicked from the party, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. But that said, I personally, from a personal perspective or political perspective, I actually have nothing against your opponent. So let me just make that clear. Respect to Mr. Robin. He's in a community right next to my constituency. I think both of you are quality candidates. If I'm very frank, I think you both care deeply about your constituencies. The difference I do see, and I would say this as if he was in the room, is I just see the way you would approach the person above you in leadership might be a bit different. Would you say that that's the biggest difference between you two? Like how you would, because you mentioned earlier about holding people accountable. Do you feel like Mr. Robin maybe could do a better job? Like, what do you think he could be doing better in that position that he's not doing that makes you want to challenge for this position?
I think that the fact that recognizing that relationships are important, but also accountability is important as well. And I think that you have to be able to use your voice, and you have to be unafraid and fearless in using that voice. And it doesn't mean that you be unprofessional. It doesn't mean you're rude, but being able to tell people, listen, this may not be the best way to do this. And also being able to show why some things may not. You can't just say this ain't the best way and don't show the why. I think you have to be unafraid to use the voice that you have, and even and that comes with a level of respect as well, because I believe that the leader will respect, the fact that, listen, she's not going to sit there and tell me yes to everything. And when she doesn't think that I'm, on the right path, I will definitely say that. So I do think that, you have to be able to use your voice in this role, and you have to be unafraid to use that voice as well.
All right. There was a comment made by Premier David Burt, and I don't want to misquote, but it was to the effect that he can literally go around to sports clubs and chill and relax, making it seem like Curtis Dickinson can't. I say this in the most respectful way. David Burt looks like the most uncomfortable person every time he's in one of these environments. That's just my personal feeling. But I thought that shot was very shallow. That said, Mr. Dickinson said that when he was on this show, his kind of leadership is a leadership that involves everyone. It's not about just him. It's about, bringing people together. What qualities do you see in Mr. Dickinson that you would love to see in David Burt as premier? And do you think that regardless of the result, that we can have that kind of leadership that people see in Mr. Dickinson through David Burt at least?
Sure. The one thing that I feel like I see in MP Dickinson is kind of his stately and his gentleman approach. But I can say that I do feel that he is one that can transgress again through the social clubs to the IB tables and things like that. He doesn't shy away from those things. But the other thing is that we have to ask ourselves, like, what do we want in our leaders as well? Yes, all of us can go to our clubs, and we pop in and we see how everyone's doing, and but that's not a feature to me of leadership. And so being able to transverse across the social scene is one thing, but also being able to be on doorsteps and hear how people feel, and canvassing and listening is really important. I do believe that we have to listen, and if I could even say that to my coordinator, would be that you need to listen. We have to listen, and that extends not just to constituents. It extends to our caucus. It extends to cabinet. All of those things. You have to be able to listen and recognize that no one person has all of the answers all the time, and that we collectively are a much stronger unit.
Alrighty. Let's go to the audience. Got quite a few questions here. If you have any questions or comments, please send them. We'll try to get through as many as possible. Sam Cat Place asking, have you faced a lot of criticism for the moves you've made, and how hard has it been to deal with the negativity?
I have had some criticism, and it's not, I wouldn't say that it's hard to deal with the negativity. Sometimes you take some of the feedback and you can look at that as a way to improve. I will say one thing, and and it's that I do feel sometimes as women, we need to learn to hold women up a bit more, and build our women up, because sometimes we can be very negative toward other women, and we should be working together more as women, encouraging, supporting, and empowering.
Got another question here. We've got Michael Daniels asking, are you happy with the level of understanding of the general public, and do you think that they realize that they are the real power behind the government?
I'm happy with the understanding. I do think that there should be more opportunities to educate the public on even that's on the political process and how government works, because I know that as we go about, sometimes I've had people say, well, how about this, and it's actually not how a political party or the government may function. And so you have to take that time to explain to them how something works. And so maybe as a government, even as a party, we can do a little bit more on the educating our people side, so that they definitely understand. And he is absolutely correct that they have all the power, and they just need to recognize that they actually have that power. As a member of parliament for my area, I recognize and will never forget who put me in this seat and why they put me in this seat.
All right. Mr. Dickinson has said, and I believe you may have said it as well, that whoever wins this upcoming internal party election needs to unify the party. How tough of a job is that going to be?
I think that I think that it would be a tough job, Jamel, but I don't think it's an impossible job. I think that we have, again, opportunities to have some honest conversations. And one of the things I hope to see is a better process put in place when you have leadership challenges, because these challenges come around every 4 years. And so as a party, I think that a clear and more structured process can take away some level of discontent that you sometimes may feel with it. And also, as a party, we need to have these discussions on, when we get to this stage, how do we actually maybe talk about behaviors? And if you recognizing that people can support A, they can support B, does not mean that we need to have disruption with ourselves and that we can't function and we can't talk to each other, because these are called differences of opinions. And so we should be able and mature enough as a party now to be able to work through these things. But I think that those things would be better resolved, and we may even have less of it if the structure and the process that was in place for leadership challenges was a bit more defined.
How do you think people in the party received you as Minister of National Security? Outside of the party, people may feel like, oh, she didn't stand up to David Burt when the incident happened at St. Regis, or what's the feeling in the party? Do they is there resentment? Did you earn respect? What do they feel about your job? Because I think that will give people who probably haven't made their mind up an idea of what kind of deputy leader you would make.
Sure. I think that for the most part, Jamal, the feedback that I've gotten was that people were satisfied. We also recognized that um, we were in COVID times, and so lots of things that you may have wanted to do would have been curtailed as a result of public health regulations. Like, for instance, if I can give an example, last week or 2 weeks ago, we had a forum on antisocial behavior and how we combat that in the island. I absolutely enjoyed it. I was able to attend, and I think that this type of discussions, if they lead to meaningful change, then it was wonderful. You had all segments around around various tables discussing the issues, discussing recommendations and solutions. But that would have been something 2 years ago we would have been unable to do. We couldn't have 100 people in a room, and we would have been doing things on a virtual scale, which I don't, in my view, it's okay. But for the type of discussions that we were having, it was really good to be in person. Um, my I know that there was challenges when I first took on the role as Minister for National Security, because there were some of my male members who felt that this would not have been a role for a woman. And I'm happy to say that a couple of them came to me maybe about a year later, and they said, "You're actually doing all right. We did, we could see a woman doing that job now." And so I was pleased to hear these comments, because I don't, like I said to you, I don't think there's any rule that's defined anymore with male or female. I think that, as a woman, you can do a job just as good as any male.
And before you go, how confident are you that Curtis Dickinson and Renee Ming will be the leader and deputy leader come Friday morning?
Confident, Jamal? I don't know if that's the word, because you have an awesome. I said this to the delegates the other day, that they have an awesome job before them in considering not just the future of the party, because they have to consider the future of our country. And so I'm hopeful that the meetings that we've had, and allowing our members and our delegates to share in who we are, because that's something that was important, that they know who we are. They know what we stand for. They know the principles, the party principles that are important to us. We recognize that, we need to have integrity. We want people want us to be inclusive. We must consult. All of those things are things that we've heard, and what we plan to bring to the table, if that is the case. So I'm hopeful that our delegates recognize the need for change, and act on that.
All righty. I'll just say this. I mean, I think I speak for many people, but at this point, I'm speaking for myself when I say I'm all the best. I don't believe in change just for the sake of it, nor do I believe in remaining where we are just because we're comfortable or content or afraid of what the other side may look like. But what I will say is, I think the country's in a place where we can confidently say thank you to Premier Burt, but the will of the people might be to go in another direction. The will of the people at this point is in the hands of the PLP delegates. And so, again, if the delegates choose to keep Premier David Burt and the Honorable Walter Raban, then I think it's back in the hands of the people for the next election, which brings me to my last question of the day. It's been suggested that if Mr. Burt and Raban are successful, that it could cost the PLP dearly in the next election.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been hearing this in your constituency from members and just the general public?
I have, Jamal. One of my members definitely expressed to me that they feel that we're in that 2012 mood again, where persons will not come out to vote if they're unhappy with us. So that is not lost on me as well. And I've had people say, "Well, in 2010, meaning that the 2 years prior to 2012." And I know that others have expressed that as well. And I, like I said, I don't think that it's lost on any of us, the challenges that are here, but we also have to recognize that our people have that they've spoken to us. and I know that they've spoken to others as well, and that we need to do a better job of listening. So what does that listening actually mean, and what does it manifest to for people during this period? I would hope that we don't find ourselves in a 2012 situation again, but there were many lessons that were learned during that period, and let's hope that we have learned those lessons.
Indeed. Okay, I said for one final question, but Renee Simmons just put something up. She's asking, what are your thoughts on Reverend Tweed's support for David Burt without even acknowledging Curtis Dickinson or yourself? Do you think this was a move of influencing his congregation and the delegates?
Well, recognizing that Premier Burt attends Reverend Tweed's church, I would just assume that he would give him the support. I have my views in terms of not, I do believe that a pastor, like for instance, if tomorrow I needed to have spiritual guidance or whatever, then I should be able to go to any one of, and I say my AME pastors because I am a member of the AME church as well. And so I would hope that as Reverend Tweed deliberates, that he prays for each and every one of us who are candidates and in this space, even if his support lies with the premier.
All righty. Well, we've got one person, Dickinson and Ming, to represent a level-headed leadership. So honestly, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for having this conversation with us. Thank you to you and MP Dickinson for taking the time to engage with us on this platform. And we really, well, I don't know about San John or she I'm talking about her politics, but I wish you all the best.
I'm very grateful.
She needs no invitation, folks. No, seriously, all the best. And you know, I can't vote. I'll be watching from afar. And yeah, we'll speak to you after the delegates conference.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me on the show, Jamal. And I appreciate you guys allowing me the forum to be able to kind of, again, explain like kind of who we are, what I stand for. And like I said to you, it's not lost on me the awesome responsibility that the deputy has, but I'm also grounded and balanced and never forgetting who put me here and why they actually put me here.
Indeed. Renee Ming, future deputy leader? I don't know. We'll find out. Talk soon. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Folks, if you appreciated that conversation today, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share this information with your friends, family, around the water cooler. It's an interesting week in Bermuda. Pay attention. There could be some movement, could be some big things happening. Don't take your eyes off the news. We're going to take a quick break, right, Sandra? And we'll come back after this quick break. Huh?
What's the daily play today?
Oh, the daily play is Remember When. Actually, Remember When. This is an easy one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And we'll do a giveaway too. We'll do a giveaway in honor of our guest today, the Honorable Renee Ming. All right. So stick with us. We'll be right back after this short break in 1 minute and 11 seconds.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security. There's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
All right, welcome back. Thanks again to the Honorable Renee Ming for taking the time to have a conversation with us today. Thanks again to One Communications, Medical House, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy for really making sure that we're able to have this platform, to have these community conversations with every and anyone that we believe will make our community better. It's time for the Daily Plate, brought to you by Heineken 0.0, great taste, no alcohol, and Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout the island. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Sandra, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, it's a remember when. Who is the only PLP premier to lose an election?
Tell me.
Tell you? Wow, you didn't get that one. The audience didn't even get it. The only PLP premier to lose an election.
Was it?
Alex Scott never contested an election, actually. He's the only premier that didn't contest one. But the first answer, Shauna Butterfield got it. Paula Cox. Yeah, Jennifer Butterfield also got it. NTS got it. Peter Philpott got it. Yeah, Paula Cox is the only PLP premier to oversee a loss in a general election. Yeah. 2012, December 2012. Folks, hashtag the Bermuda Trivia, hashtag Bermuda Trivia for today's giveaway. Just put hashtag Bermuda Trivia and we'll do the giveaway. What are your thoughts on today's conversation with Ming, Sanj?
You know what? I'm happy we had this conversation today. I was one of the people when the combination of the two came out, Curtis Dickinson and Renee Ming, I wasn't sure about it. I was one of those people that felt that they were both on the same wavelength a little bit, and we needed someone with a little bit of fire underneath of them. But speaking to Minister Ming today, she is relatable. It felt like a very level-headed conversation. She was to the point. She, it made me feel better about it. And she basically swayed my opinion. And having two level-headed people in this position, I think that it'll be good for where we are at in Bermuda right now. And I think she also thrives where people, the community, feel as if Curtis Dickinson may lack a little bit in the social aspect, like her walks and she's in the community, she's talking to people. So I think that's where we find that balance. So I'm happy we had this conversation today, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm a little sad that I'm in New York during this time because I would love to feel the energy if things shift.
I'm just saying, I mean, Sandra's not a delegate in anyone, but delegates, if you feel her energy, you see where she's at. Look, I appreciate it. As I said, I say this publicly. I don't hate the PLP. I don't hate PLP MPs. I have a lot of respect, whether he likes me or not. That's neither here or there, or whether he believes it. But for Mr. Robin, I've got a lot of respect for Minister Tanae Furbett, Zandy Silva, Wayne Furbett. There's a number of people. So, and even members within the PLP and delegates, I've got nothing but love for them. And they're going to make the decisions that they believe in their heart is best. What they believe is best is not necessarily what you and I think is best. My hope is that they find something that we see that they maybe don't, and do what we believe is in the best interest of Bermuda. But I accept that what we believe is not necessarily what they believe is best. So at the end of the day, I think we all just want what's in the best interest of the island, and at least on a bigger scale than the party, people just seem to think it's one way over the other. And I'll leave you all to figure that out. All right, let's do this giveaway so Sancha could go enjoy New York, folks. She's
I'm working all day today.
She's working. All right. City never sleeps. She'll be working during the day, party at night. Let's see. All right, let's see who's got the victory today. Let's do it. Who we got, Sancha? Who we got? Let's hit that thing. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? LW. So first name L, last name. Well, congratulations, LW. LW, please send an email to engage@thedailyhour.com, and We'll ensure that you get your Bermuda trivia cards, your prize for today. LW, I love that. I love that. SD, you got some daily inspiration for us?
Yes. Keep your face always towards the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. It's Walt Whitman.
I like that one, SD. I like that one. All righty. Well, thanks again to our partners, MediCross, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. We actually have part 2 with the Honorable former PLP leader, Mark Bean, coming up tomorrow. She's SD, I'm JH. Make it a safe and great day, my friends. We're out.